NCRP Productions presents New Dallas, an Alien RPG campaign series podcast. Episode 6. Hi, this is Barry. Welcome back to the Aliens RPG New Dallas. I'm going to have everyone introduce themselves and we will get started.
Hey everybody, it's Pedro. I am playing the Marshall Bloodhound Baird.
Hi, it's Sequoia, and I'm running Dr. Elizabeth Langtree.
Hey, it's David, and I am running the Colonial Marine, Sergeant Rictor.
Hello, this is Josh. I am playing Lance, going for a promotion, Bateman.
So, last time, the group that was inside of the main facility for the oil rig, which is Dr. Langtree, Sergeant Rictor, and the other three Marines, Stevens, Coombs, and Navarro, were dealing with some of the issues that were going on inside there. We started down in the bottom where Coombs was taken under the water by some kind of a creature. The group worked together to finally bring him back up, although severely injured. He was treated by Dr. Langtree, and the group moved up away from the water and out. Some of the civilians on the outside, plus Lance Bateman and Marshall Cole, were able to see some of the same creatures on the outside move around the outside of the structure and head off in the water. The group moves towards the second building on the rig, the second building being basically not a civilian building, but a residence-style building. You have the one Marine, which was Coombs, who had been pretty severely damaged from the creature in this fight in the water, has been brought back up to health, seems to be shaky but in fairly good shape. The civilians and everyone else are safely back. Sergeant Rictor had walked back to the main building with Navarro not with Navarro. Navarro was left to stay watch over the two people of interest, the POIs, which is Lance Bateman and Dr. Langtree. So Stevens and Sergeant Rictor made it back to the main building. And while Sergeant Rictor was setting up, trying to make a call onto the mainland, onto Andy's drop to try and get some idea of an ETA for pickup, Stevens looked up and said, "Hey, Sarge, what's that?" which appears to be one of the Marine sign calls.
Now, in the meantime, I know we were talking about my skill check, the 8 minutes or the 10-minute window that it was going to take.
Right, the window leading up to it. What did you want to do with that?
I was going to look in the system and see, because you said that it stood out in my mind that this was the same terminal that Bateman was on. And
you are right.
Snuck into the building earlier, and I didn't pay much mind to what he might have been up to, but I'm going to go ahead and just look and see if there's a transmission log, and see, when the last transmission was sent, maybe if there's any details on what the message read.
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me a commtech roll.
I'm just sitting here wondering, okay, we know, what killed the Marine or almost killed him. Mm-hmm. But what made the Worker Joe things? Right.
And that should be still in the back of your minds. Nothing, unless those creatures are amphibious and can come up on land, you got to wonder.
Extras.
How many successes did you get, Sarge?
I got 2.
2. So don't worry about looking up. You will not be able to find what he did. You can find the log in, meaning that he came onto the machine.
Okay.
You can find the length of the message, the size of the message, which you're a contact guy. You kind of know this. It was small. It could not have been more than 2 sentences. But either he did or potentially the system itself completely wiped any trace of that message. But it was a small message, potentially 2 sentences.
Can I tell where it went?
No.
All right.
That's another thing.
All right.
Out into the ether.
All right.
So, do you look up when Steven says...
Yeah.
All right. So, what you can see, and those of you who are inside the residence facility, this is going to happen as well for you. Mm. You can see out that opening for the door, over the top of the land base there, the sky is black. Not gray, but black. And moving towards you. It looks like roiling clouds moving quickly towards you. Very quickly towards you. For the civilians inside, the majority are not going to see it through the windows. But I'd like each of the 3 of you to go ahead and give me an observation roll. because Dr. Langtree, you are working with so many of the people directly, I'm going to give you a -1 to your roll, so removing a single die. Everybody should be stress-free as of right now.
And I'm not making the roll, right? Because I'm in the building.
You're not making the roll because he told you to look. You know to look.
Oh,
You're seeing the black cloud move towards you.
Nice.
2.
2 successes, 0 successes, and
3.
Lance has 3.
Hot
So
take.
the 2 of you will definitely notice it. There is a black cloud bank moving in towards you guys, and as the black moves in at what we would consider to be normally cloud level, below it is starting to obscure, and it is moving quickly. You estimate, quick estimates for you guys, having seen weather and people driving and spaceship movement, this thing is going to be on you in the next 2 minutes.
I want to look around for one of the farm tech boys.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you, Sears. So I
Well,
called him.
actually, the
Or if
farm
you have
tech,
names,
No,
then
I
that's-
do have names.
that's
For
awesome.
the 2 farm techs that you know are the Merriweather brothers. Those are the
Okay.
ones that you were telling them. You did not
Oh,
see
those
that.
guys?
Yeah,
Oh.
the Merriweathers.
So I look over, I'm like, son of a
God dang it.
bitch. Merriweathers, get over here.
That's so the 2 of them come over. What's up, Marshall? We didn't do anything.
And then I say, that right there looks like storm clouds to me. Does that look right?
So the 2 of them look at each other, and you can basically see the blood drain from their face.
Now, can you tell me why the hell that's moving so quickly at us?
It's a plasma storm, and they say it loud enough that everybody hears. Most of the people you can tell have no idea what that is. So most people just kind of looking, and he says, "We gotta get, we gotta get," and he can't figure out what to do. And the brother says, "We gotta get down below. Is there a down below?"
Well, yeah, what do you mean? What the hell's a plasma storm?
That thing can burn through stuff if it throws plasma. And now they're panicking. They're like looking around. How do we get deeper? How do we get farther
goddamn
in?
son of a bitch. Because I know we have barely minutes left, I'm
Right.
like, all right, folks, everyone follow me. We gotta get underneath this place. Follow me. And I'm gonna run to the front. I'm saying this as I'm running towards the front door. We
Hey.
got us a plasma storm coming. Everyone follow me in an orderly fashion.
All right. So
Orderly fashion, just a plasma storm.
Navarro says, "Hey, Sarge, we got something going on here. I'm hearing there's a plasma storm coming. It looks like, yep, no, I even see it.
Don't I see it?
You do.
Okay.
He says, Sarge, it's coming in from the mainland. What do we do?
Do I know what a plasma storm is? Since I've been on
Go
different
ahead.
planets.
Yep.
How
Go
would
ahead.
I have been briefed on? Hey, watch out! There's plasma
Give me a
storms.
wit survival roll.
All right.
No. Now that would be one thing that's important. No, you have not been briefed about that here, and you have not been briefed about that here.
I don't
So-
have any. I'm gonna push it. Just
Since he said that it can eat
There
away
we
at
go.
stuff, I think about the holes in the damn bridge.
Very good.
I like stress.
And that's why I'm like, oh shit, we gotta go.
All right, so I got an alien and a success. So I'm gonna roll a panic test.
Yep.
7.
So a 7. So a 7. Stevens is the only one
Go
that's
up
going
by
to get
one.
this hit, but that is going to be nervous twitch.
Yeah.
So stress level, you go up 1 more stress. So you're at 2.
So I got 2. Yeah.
Since they announced the plasma storm,
Yep.
do I know what that is?
Give me a roll.
But I
If
did
you
get a
envision that
success.
you might, I don't see why it would be a problem.
Am I
Go-
still at a minus?
No, not for this.
Okay.
So you were at a minus because you were moving
Kinda
around
like a
people and
stress
wouldn't
test.
necessarily look.
Yeah, right, it's
Now
extra
you know
dice.
what it is. So
Okay.
It adds
with
an element of
with
excitement.
survival for you as well. 2 successes. So the same thing the boys are not being able to explain to you very well. You know what you need to do is get away from the top. So a plasma storm will be a combination of thunder and lightning, but if it additionally ejects plasma out, the concern is plasma potentially can burn at 5,000 degrees and burn through stuff. So the farther away from a surface you can be. So it doesn't necessarily mean down. It means inside. So if you were inside a building, inside a
More
building, inside a
layers.
room, yes.
Okay, so
And they're thinking, you know why they're thinking down, because
Yeah.
if it's coming over the top, it's got to burn down.
so I'll grab. We got Navarro in here.
Navarro is in here.
I'm gonna pinch his little walkie-talkie and explain all of that through it to you.
So you read it and just kind of wrench the thing around and he's
Yeah.
like, so Navarro's like, hey, Doc, what's up?
I did get a success with mine. So do I understand?
So you
Yeah, well-
had asked me, did you know that it was here? Oh, do you would check to see if you knew
See if
about
I knew
that.
what a
So
plasma storm
same thing that she's got.
was. Okay.
You don't necessarily know as much, but yeah, you have a basic idea. Plasma storm is something you get away from.
and I'll
as
relay
quickly as
that
possible.
we're heading down.
Okay, we'll move to the lower level, down the shaft.
Okay.
The
sub-level.
leech
So you guys are
land.
gonna
Towards the
take
leech layer, yeah.
So one of the things that you know in the same way, so with a plasma, if the ejection comes out, if it ejects plasma and strikes somewhere, it's potentially going to burn or melt through something. So what you want to be is under layers. Down is slightly better, but if something comes in from the side, it could still strike you. It would be, I'm not saying you're going to do it, it would potentially be safer to be in the second level of the residence than it would be to be in this thing at any level, just because there's no layer.
Well, do I think I've got enough time to get back over to the other building before it hits?
There's a chance.
All right,
It's
we're going to
gonna
make a
be
run
a
for it. All right, so we're not going to wait for the reception from the comm link or the comm console. We're just going to make a run for it.
So everyone else, what are you doing, Dr. Langtree? Navarro's like, and then when he grabs his mic bag, he says, Sarge, what are we doing?
I'm
Stand by. We're on our way. We're en
so
route.
just to understand the shape of this room. We have the med room.
So
and-
what you have, think of the entire facility as a rectangle.
Okay.
The med bay is towards the back.
And so, okay, I'm gonna ask Navarro as we're moving towards the stairs.
If that's what you want.
Did you guys clear the lower levels?
Yes, ma'am. They've been completely cleared.
Make sure that there's no stragglers up here. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that if there is anything weird,
Ma'am, and he grabs your shoulder. He says, "My job is to stay on you. You might need the marshal to do that."
then you and I are gonna stay for stragglers.
And he
And
looks a
I'll
little
hold-
nervous, but he says, "Yes, ma'am."
And so I'll hang back and make sure that all of our little farm techs, comm
All right.
techs,
So as you're saying, everyone needs to go downstairs. That's when everybody feels, ba-boom, the thunder strike. Okay. You're the only one with stress, and you know what's going on. So I'm not going to make you roll. I would have all you guys roll, but the worst roll that you could make for a stress is a 6. But realize at this point, everybody is going to be under duress. Not adding stress, just saying everybody is under duress. You're aware that was close.
Alright, so I further say, get a move on! And so I go outside and run to the door.
No.
No?
They're going
Downstairs.
down inside
can
this
we do
building.
Yes.
This building has a downstairs
Yes.
right here. Oh, good. I
Probably
thought we were going to have
lost
to
some
run
of
back.
civilians in route.
Awesome.
They're becoming a little bit of a burden.
So as you and Stevens get to the front door, as you step out already, there is pelting rain, and you guys start hearing it as you're going down the stairs. My question to you, do you leave the door open or shut it?
This feels like an important question. It's been the third time you've asked.
No, I'm gonna close the door because I don't want any of the particles to get in and damage the comms console.
Gotcha.
So I close the door and we're
And
running.
you guys are running.
Yep.
Do you tell me that you're staying back? Because if so, I will.
I mean, I'm shouting, so you probably would have heard.
Okay, cool. So then I'm going to be first in and down. So I'll
All right.
lead the pack then.
So as you go down, you are going downstairs, leaving the sound of rain starting to hit the windows. But by the time you're at the bottom, that rain is hitting at such a level that you're hearing it as loud as you used to hear it when you're on the top. For those of you guys up top, for Navarro and Bateman and Dr. Langtree, it's starting to get deafening. Think a storm where the rain is hitting every direction. It is whipped up. You can actually look out, see lightning strike in a number of spaces in the water up to land or just out. There's those, the lightning shafts that kind of boom, just go diagonally across the sky. And then there's a thunder hit. You know the game where you count the number of seconds after that. Well, this is thunder, lightning, or I'm sorry, backwards. Lightning, thunder. So the two Marines, Sarge, you and Stevens, you are running back as the rain starts to pick up. Go ahead and give me a mobility roll.
All right.
Remember to roll your stress dice, which
We're all safely inside, the three of us.
everyone except Stevens and the Sarge are safely inside.
All right.
I'm like waiting to hear what Lance
there we go.
Bateman's
There's
like
3.
little scheme is.
3.
So 3.
I'm insulating myself with as many layers
Is
of people
Stevens leading or are
as
you?
possible.
I'm leading.
Just twice
All right.
the child.
Mobility there, so I'm going to. All right, so I'm gonna take +1.
Miss Hill, come here. I need you to use you as a
And-
shield.
Future rolls.
I'll give you that interview.
All right.
Why are you sitting on the
So
floor?
give me an observation roll.
Observation. Okay.
my best
3,
angle.
4, 5. +1
Come
more,
directly
and
above.
2 stress dice. All right, I have an alien and no hits. Look at
All right.
all 1s and 2s on.
Whew. So
All right.
go ahead and give me a panic
right,
roll.
so that's 2. That's 7. So it's going up by 1.
All right. Go ahead and give me another observation roll. Do not roll stress this time.
Observation. Okay, cool.
Yep, but do not roll stress dice on this roll.
Okay. 1 hit.
Okay. And then I need you to give me a normal mobility roll with stress dice.
Okay. So 3, 4 plus 1. I'm gonna use one of my plus 1s for my stunt. Okay.
The wind is whipping up. It is throwing the rain around diagonally. So, you're kind of covering your eyes, shutting them slightly to be able to see through it. The wind is pelting against you. It has worked up the water so fast that you can feel it as it hits your cheeks. There's a sense of it.
All right, and I got 2 hits. No stress.
You've got your mobility up. Keep that extra +1. As you get there, you realize Stevens is not with you. As you look back up the walkway, Stevens is holding on to the edge. It looks like he has slipped and the wind has pushed him. He is up at the corner, but leaning off on the water's edge side.
So I have a stunt on this one as well. So this stunt I'm going to give 1 extra die to another PC if I can to the other Marine.
It's a PC. It won't
it
help
says
him.
PC, but
Well, it won't help him because he fell the last turn.
He already fell. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, he rolled no successes for mobility and his alien.
Okay. All right.
So, what are you doing?
Well, so
he's pulling himself up, but that wind is starting to whip. You can see the wind is literally strong enough that it's moving.
I got to turn back and help him.
All right.
Yep.
So go ahead and give me a mobility roll. Remember, you got that +1.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The Marine's heart grew
+1.
2 sizes
Another
that
one.
day.
And 3 stress dice.
Oh, there we go.
Cool. 1 success and no failures.
All right. So you get over to him. He is pulling himself up. As you get him, you get a hand down to him. You pull him over. He yells at you. You may not hear him, but you can definitely see his mouth moving. He's yelling at you, "Thanks, Sarge!" And you guys make a run back. Go ahead and give me a roll.
Another mobility roll.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and that's extra. He had 2 successes on his mobility, so he's going to get an extra dice on this one. No alien, but he didn't succeed.
Well, I've got a success and an alien.
All right.
So I gotta make
give me one more.
I'm good there.
All right.
That's gonna be 3 plus 2 is 5.
Good. So you guys are going to make it back. He slips again, but you're able to grab him and pull him in. Get it together. As you guys are trying to get that door
Through a
open.
plasma storm.
Well, yeah, and the wind is just buffeting you at this point. It's not a just run down. It's holding onto the gangway, onto the rails as you're making it there. You get that door open, and it's just blowing in. Papers or anything that was loose in here, short of the tables and chairs, are just blowing. The civilians, as they're going down, quite a number of them scream. It's almost drowned out, not completely, but almost drowned out by the thunder that hits, and the building shakes. And as you look out, once you get that door shut, you and Stevens pull it shut, the black is on you guys. So currently, not downstairs, is going to be the last 2. So it'll be Navarro and Langtree, plus the 2 of you.
All right.
As you guys start making your way down the stairs, you can feel the entire rig being moved by the wind. Not thrown. This isn't that, it's not Wizard of Oz. You're not being twisted, but it is buffeting outside. You can hear 2 cracks that sound like maybe the windows have gotten stress in them, but it still holds. There's another thunder hit, and the civilians are making noise again nearly drowned out by it. And then there is a huge lightning flash that's going to near blind you guys. As you make it down to the next level, there are no windows on this level. So at this point now, you're just feeling the shuddering from the wind.
This is still medical bay, but
No. This is, again, you're in a large unit. The whole, basically, residence unit. The medical bay is in the residence unit.
Gotcha.
You guys are actually going down to the second level of the residence unit.
Right.
Look, what Navarro and who would it have been at that point? It would have been Navarro and Stevens would have realized that what's down there are a couple of offices, that type of thing. You guys are at this point between your knowledge, Dr. Langtree, and what the 2 boys, the 2 farm techs, the Merriweathers eventually realize is stay in the hallway. That gives us the most structural distance from it. So a couple more hits and shakes, and then there's silence for a moment. The eye. Exactly. Goes for maybe a count of 20 heartbeats, and you can hear a couple people saying, "I'm glad that's over." wow, that was scary, you know, and then it hits again, boom, in full force. Everybody screams. Everybody go ahead and give me a panic test. Actually, I think
7,
everybody
that's
has
+1 for everyone else.
+1 for everyone.
So +1 for everyone.
Yeah, because everyone else doesn't have stress.
If
so
we
you
all
don't
roll
have it.
7, we're screwed.
Yep.
So we're all.
Yeah, so everyone
wait,
has
do we-
1 point of stress.
to be all,
After.
After.
Yes,
Okay.
after.
I'm up 4.
So,
Nothing. 3.
so there's a couple more shakes. Everybody is wound up. You can have people. You can hear people talking. There are a number of people that are crying or quietly praying to themselves. You won't hear a lot of it over the crashing thunder, the buffeting noises. You can hear the as the rain is hitting continuously around the building, and it's around the building that you guys are hearing it and feeling it. About another 15, maybe 15 minutes, closer to 13. I'm going to count again. Maybe closer to 13 minutes. You guys are in this, and then it starts to relax, and everyone's like, you know, a couple of the people, once it relaxes, are starting to get up, and you know, there's people saying, "Don't get up, it's going to happen again." And the 2 boys say, "That should be it. It's over." And the other one says, "Yeah." And then both of them look at the Marine sergeant and say, "You going to go check?"
All clear, folks.
So what do you do? At this point, since the boys said that to you, everybody's looking at you.
Go check.
Except
one.
potentially player characters. All right, so
Said-
you're going to head
I
up?
said no. We need to head to medical.
Okay.
We still have a casualty. Whether there's a storm outside or not is irrelevant.
Well, so he's been out. We're talking Coombs?
Yeah.
No, he's been out. He's now rehabbed. She's done all, before this even hit.
Okay.
He was cleaned.
Yeah, he's as done up as he can be.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, but are we separated from the medical facility? Is that where we're?
It's
kinda
upstairs.
It's just a couple up the stairs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's up the stairs and
Alright.
down a very short hallway. You are closer to the medical bay than anything else.
Okay. Well,
So-
then, so I mean, yeah, we can go take a look outside.
Okay.
We could take a look outside on our way back over to the comms console to see if we got a response.
So as you guys head up, who's going to be the first to a window? Who's going to be the first one up that's looking?
I'll be.
That's you? All right.
I don't know if it's just me and the Marine. Are we all going together?
Well, other people are going to follow, but after the Merryweathers said to you, so you guys going to go look? Everyone else is kind of like, it seems like the smart idea. Let the Marines go first.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So you head up. Right on your 6 is going to end up being Stevens, but do you say anything to Navarro or Coombs as you're heading up, or before you head up?
Do you say out loud that you're going to go back to the comm station?
Yeah. So I'm gonna head back over to comms to see if we got a response on the ETA for extraction.
I'd like to look at the remains as well.
Remains of what, ma'am?
The ones in the pit.
You want to go back down there? I thought we'd been over this.
I'm just going to keep walking.
I don't. Do you think that's the best idea, ma'am? Last time it didn't end so well, and Coombs is in med bay.
Well, he could stay behind then.
Yeah. What happens if it's you next? I can't take that risk, unfortunately.
Then I suppose you'll have to be ready.
All right. So she's walking down the hallway to head out of the residential building. Are you keeping pace with her?
I have to follow her.
All right.
I'm
So
just
you and
leaving people up
Stevens,
top.
do you say anything to Navarro?
So, Navarro, keep your eyes on Bateman.
Got it, Sarge.
He's pickpocketing people.
No, but he's just
No, he's-
putting
he's-
cards in.
Right, he's doing the pickpocket
Yeah.
replacement thing.
Yeah.
Takes the Wayland Utani pen out, puts the Seegson
and
pen in.
I want to stop off and talk. I want to pull the marshal aside and say, you can have a word.
All right, folks, we're gonna head up in just a moment.
So wait. So you're at the front. You gonna wait till he comes up, or are you gonna?
Yeah, I'll
thread
let
back
the rest
through?
of the Marine stuff, go by. I'll send Stevens with the doctor.
Okay,
I'll let Navarro know, keep an eye on Bateman, and then I'm gonna wait for the marshal.
gotcha. So you and the marshal stand at the bottom of the stairs while everyone else has made their way up.
So, yeah, I don't know, I've known Bateman for a while, and I'll say, I wouldn't quite put him in the sense of being the most up and up guy, up front guy, especially when it comes to his own, his own personal agendas. But I can't tell what he said, but he sent a message from that comms console right before we went in there to establish. And I think your approach in extracting the pertinent information might be more appropriate than what I've been trained to, the methods I've been trained on.
I'll say, well, I can't say I ever really trusted any corporate SOBs either, but Yeah, I mean, I could certainly interrogate him a little bit. Yeah, I'll see what he needs to know.
He just shoots you.
He sent. Well, now, so how many messages did I see? Just one.
One message.
He
Your
sent-
guess is 2 sentences or
He
less.
sent he sent a very short message to somebody. I can't tell who, but he definitely took the opportunity when nobody was looking to sit there and do it. So, for what it's worth, considering the security of the the civilians and the people of interest here, you might want to.
You know what, son? Rictor, sorry, Rictor. I think I got this. I'll go have a little chat with our corporate friend there, and I think it'll be in his interest to be up with me.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm gonna head back over and see if I can't keep the doctor out of trouble, and see if we got a reply on our message on ETA and we get out of this place.
All right. So they did not wait for you. So when you come out, when you get up to the levels, Stevens and Dr. Langtree are not in the building. And you take that look out, you're just seeing the tail end of them disappearing around the corner of the main building.
I'll just follow.
All right. So as you get out there, and for you guys, you're going to have walked through this. The entire walkway is, of course, wet. Everywhere is wet. You can see a couple of strands of different things wrapped around. You're guessing, unless you want to stop to look at it, you're guessing the majority of what's wrapped around is organic. There are a couple of the large blades of grass that are wrapped 2 and 3 times around the bars on the railings. They're dripping wet. You can see as you go out, because you can smell it, which starts it, and then you can see it. There's an ozone smell in the air that draws you to it. There are a couple of spots where obviously there was a plasma hit that had burned through more of basically the gangway, the walkways around the outside. They match the burn holes in the front that you guys saw. As you come around the main portion of the core building, you'll also see there is a single burn hole up at the top, almost directly over the door when you're getting closer to it. Once you're out, Sarge, are you going to run to catch up with them, or are you just walking?
I'll just walk.
It's still wet.
I'll walk.
Very good.
Yeah.
So you get inside. Steven says, "Ma'am, you said we're going down?"
Yes.
Okay, follow me, please.
Are the lights still on and everything?
The lights are not on in here. There are, however, emergency red lights that have all come on. So
Okay.
you know that the power switch is still thrown. It should be up and running. But you've got the little red lights, the emergency lights. They're enough that you can move in here reasonably comfortably. Something could hide, but... So you guys will head down. Sarge, as you come in, because it is eerily quiet again,
All right.
you can hear boots on the metal stairs.
Going down.
Yeah.
I'll say, Stevens, what's the status?
Got the doctor ahead. Doctor behind me. We are on level 2, heading to the water at this point.
You are under no circumstances to put the doctor in harm's way.
I understand, Sarge. That's why I'm leading.
All right.
Hey, I don't know if you noticed on the way in. I think there was a plasma hit on the upper portion of the building, right above the entry.
All right, I'll check it out. I don't know. Look, I'll stop at the comms console and see if there was any interruption in the message going out, or if there was a transmission. Did I receive anything back?
Comms console is out.
It's fried.
I didn't say it's fried. It's out.
What do you mean by out? Is it off?
There's no lights. Yeah, but you see the emergency light. The power connection is up. Otherwise, you wouldn't get the emergency lights.
Okay.
Chances are there's got to be something that you either got to flip a switch or replace something or some things.
Well, that's
before
going to
it
take
comes
time.
on.
I need to go down the stairs and make sure the doctor's not getting herself into trouble.
So as you guys come that third section, so you're going to head downstairs
Yeah,
after going to the
head down,
comms
yeah.
unit. Do you ever look at the hole?
I look up at the hole. How big's the hole?
The hole is about 3 feet in diameter. It's not a perfect sphere. It's kind of jagged and burns at some of the... It burns like a drip at the lower edges, so gravity-wise pulling out.
Okay.
And as you kind of do the quick math on it, trying to figure out where it hit, you do see a small area over on the far side where the floor is somewhat burned, and one of the machines is slagged a bit. You wouldn't have noticed it if you weren't making that direct, line of sight type connection.
I wonder there's nobody here. All right.
So you're going to head down.
Yep.
So for you two, Stevens gets to about 4 steps up from the water, and he turns around and says, "So, ma'am, what are you thinking?"
So did the pump turn off during the storm?
As you guys get down there, you realize the pump is not working. However, you will notice that you are, now that you're thinking about it, you are way farther down. And 2 reasons you notice it. 1, the stairs are in much worse shape that you're currently standing on. 2, as you look over, the pile of meat is there. It has spread because it doesn't have the water kind of holding it in place, plus it's probably been shook. But the pile of meat is a good 8 feet above the water line now.
Okay. And so my first thought, and I'll narrate this, what I kind of envision her doing is kind of like when they're doing like the recordings during autopsies.
Yep.
And so I feel like she just narrates her thoughts. So she's going to be saying, I think our first order of business is we need to try to get the pumps working again so that we can investigate them safely or find a way to get to them without getting into the water.
Yes, ma'am. You're narrating. He's thinking you're talking to him. So
what's your specialty?
Mine, ma'am?
Yes.
I don't have a secondary. I'm support.
I think everybody has a secondary, I think.
Really?
Yeah, there's riflemen.
Hit me with them. See, this is what happens when you didn't serve in the military.
Let's see.
I truly appreciate those people who did serve in the military, but I was not one of them.
Making Marines. All right, there is their MOS. So there's the automatic rifleman, the smart gunner, the Comtech Marine, the assault Marine, which is the breacher. Yeah, carry explosives.
So he's a rifleman, just so you know.
Okay, there's AFV Marines, there's dedicated marksmen. I mean, there's a bunch. Dropship crew, hospital corpsmen.
And that's what I was thinking. He's rifleman. He's basically a straightforward grunt.
Okay, he's a rifleman. All right.
So
all right. But what he says to you is, he says, but if it's a pump, what about some of the farm tech kids? I mean, I would think they would have
those 4-H guys.
Some idea, right?
Throw them down there. They'll spread.
I'd like to bring the least amount of civilians into this as possible. With the meat having spread out, is it closer to the edges?
So the answer is yes, but not in the way you think. So the pile of meat, however it sits, goes up from the bottom. If it was maybe a cone, or not a cone, but a cylinder before, the water's come down and it's spread. So the edges where it is spread closer, and you have less water, so the stairs are closer. So effectively, it's closer.
If I just take a moment and look at it, and do I see hands?
No.
Arms?
No.
Legs?
You do not see anything that looks like an appendage. Having the time now, and you're going to show up while she's doing this watch. Having the time now, you're going to make me a medical aid roll.
Okay.
Remember to add in your stress, care of Sergeant Rictor.
Oh.
An alien.
I got an alien. So, can I push this and roll
You
again?
can't because of the alien.
Because of the alien.
You got a success still.
Okay, so I got a success.
So go ahead and give me the stress roll.
Yeah,
Basically, the only bad roll is if you roll a 6.
No, 4.
All right.
But now you have how many?
Now I have 2 stresses.
Oh, you have 2 now. Okay.
No, wait. Why do you have 2?
Just got
Do I add
one
one?
for me, and
No,
then
you don't add one.
Oh.
Unless that's what I was saying. Is
Yeah, I just have the one from...
just the one from him.
yeah. But when you make the panic roll,
Only
so
on a
when
7 or higher.
Yeah. But when you push the roll, you're automatically factoring the new stress.
She couldn't push because she had the alien.
Right, I was going to push,
you
but I
push
didn't.
it. Oh, gotcha.
So we're good. So with the one roll, you were wondering, I apologize,
Do I see anything that looks humanoid?
you do not see anything that looks humanoid. You are thinking that this is pieces of meat, but as to what they come from, you don't know.
But I'm certain it's not people.
You're as certain as you could possibly be without doing DNA tests. The shapes don't match. If it's human meat, it's sliced off of somewhere and then potentially even reshaped. The shapes tend to be, I want to be silly and say rhomboids, but basically the shapes tend to be odd-shaped diamonds.
It's super
And
weird.
fairly good size. You see very limited bones, and when I say bones, you see very limited structural portions in the meat. You would immediately identify them as bones. They may be anything from cartilage to who knows what.
At this point, Sargent, I am relatively certain we're not looking at people here. I don't know what the fuck we are looking at, but I'm comfortable leaving these here for now.
Steven says, Sarge and ma'am, the water is rising. He says, in the time that we've been down here, I'm estimating it's come up already an inch. And you can see that he is standing in water. about an inch up his boots.
Let's roll out.
Is there a way to get the power going again?
Yeah, we'll try and we'll see if we can get the power going again. The comms console might be fried. It's like the building took a hit in the storm.
Well, if I can help in any way, I'd be happy to.
Stevens, I need you to stay posted up on this water and make sure it doesn't get the water level doesn't creep up too high.
Yes, sir.
All right. And yeah, we'll go and try and we'll circle up with the others and see if we can't get it. Bring up what we can.
All right. So the two of you back up on the main drag. For Bateman and Cole, are you guys doing anything in the interim?
Yeah. So after Rictor left, before I go into the room, since everybody's up there, I'm gonna give myself a breath, kind of stretch a little bit, like all right, time for the Bloodhound to come out. And I'm gonna shift everything, kind of, what is that? Shift my chest, pop my chest out, and I'm gonna hook my thumbs into my belt, where I can do that like cop thing where you tap your gun, your holster. I'm gonna saunter into the room.
Yep.
I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna look for Bateman.
Yeah, that's easy to find.
All right. So
That's awesome.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up towards him. I'm gonna try and come at an angle that he doesn't necessarily see me at first.
Okay.
So, what are you doing right now, Bateman?
I'm making notes on my clipboard with my gold-plated pen.
So I'm gonna just walk up. Are you sitting down?
Oh yeah, I'm standing.
Standing. I'm gonna just walk over. You're just gonna feel my presence stand next to you. Look,
Marshall.
I'm gonna say, Bateman, I need to have a word with you.
Smell the leather on
Over
his
in that
belt.
corner, and I'm gonna point to an empty corner. I'm gonna say, "Let's go, Bateman." I'm gonna try and put as much of a cop voice in, as I'm doing.
If you say so, Marshall, I'd hope to talk to you as well.
So go over there.
So you're going to get a call, just real quick, Sarge. You're going to get a call. Varro's going to say, "Hey, Sarge, we got something going on. The marshal's coming after the other POI."
Stand fast.
Got it, Sarge.
All right. So once we get to
the corner.
once we get to the corner, I'm gonna say,
Don't put me in the corner.
take a seat right there. I'm gonna point to whatever chair.
So yeah, there's a cherry's point now.
It's one of those kind of interrogations. Okay.
No, it's not an interrogation. It's more of a warning to you. So I'm gonna have him sit down. I'm gonna find a chair next to him. I'm gonna hike my foot up onto it. Do that kind of lean over so that you can see me tapping my gun. And I'm gonna say, all right, listen here, Bateman. Now, I don't need no bullshit from you. I know you went to the comms communication center there. I know you sent a message off. Now, Bateman, I'm not one to judge. Some people, they look at corporate types and they think, wow, now that is scum of the earth. You know what now? While some people may say you're some piece of shit for working for a corporation up like that, now that ain't how I work. I take, it's them. It's the royal them or whatever kids say these days. The point is, Bateman, that I like to take people at face value and look at the actions that they're doing. Now, I don't have any reason to distrust you as of yet, and so when the sergeant there came to me and said that they're a little bit concerned because they know you sent a message that you might have something to do with the reason the ship went down. And now I said, now, Sargent, that's a big accusation. He said, well, you know what? He said he sent some message off. That's mighty suspicious in the comms station. If it's not working, if he can't figure out what was sent, that's mighty incriminating. Now I said, now listen, I know people say
I don't know how things work where you're from, Marshall. You are making some pretty easy jumps here.
Now I'm not making no accusations. I'm just I'm trying to warn you what the military's type. They can come, they can shoot first, ask questions later. So what I like to do is I like to ask questions first. So why don't you do this? Why don't you tell me what you sent off, and then I can go and clear your name with the sergeant. I can make sure, because that sergeant, he might be one of those people that thinks that you deserve to just be, you're worse than the dirt scuffed on a boot. But you know what? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I gotta give you the benefit of the doubt. So why don't you tell old Baird what went down?
I appreciate receiving the benefit of the doubt, Marshall. I really do.
Both of you make an observation roll. And I apologize for interrupting you, but I needed to wait for a breather.
All right.
I am caught up in this conversation.
Ones and tries.
Even using my stress die?
Yes, obviously, yes.
Yeah, I didn't use
I got 1.
0.
Okay, very good. So as Bateman starts to speak, it's going to be at the angle you can see. Marshal Katrina Hill has kind of moved over your general direction.
Yeah, I figured.
And Bateman, go.
Right, so, I know you're a new marshal to these parts. I really appreciate the job you do to watch over the people of this new colony. One thing, you probably also know about me is that, Seegson is a really quickly rising power in these parts, And there's a lot of things we can do to make a newly appointed marshal's job, a lot easier or maybe a lot more difficult, So if you know what was good for you, Marshal, then you would keep your head down and stop asking questions above your pay grade.
Bateman. Ooh, that's good, Bateman. Okay. So that, so while you're saying that, I'm just like giving you that that no emotion kind of glare down through behind, shaded glasses. Well, now look at us. Both a couple of good folk. Just wanted to give the other heads up. I like that. Now, all right, if you don't want me pestering you no more, I'll just go ahead. You're right. I shouldn't be working above my pay grade. I'll leave this to the Marines, Bateman. I'll go ahead and tell them that, you know what? You didn't want to tell me nothing, and I didn't want to push any further. So that's all fine. If you don't want to tell me, you don't got to worry.
I assure you, Marshal, you have nothing to worry about from me.
All right, and you don't got nothing to worry about from me. Those Marines, on the other hand, maybe, but not for me there, Bateman. So, you know what? You go ahead and keep doing you.
And do you walk away?
Yeah, I'll stand up and I'll say, it was a nice chat, and I'll just tap my holster and kind of turn around and then just walk on off. And then I'll walk past Miss Hill and I'll nod or tip the hat, Miss Hill.
Marshall? So he gets 2 steps past her and she glides into the chair he had his foot up on. Right next to you, and she says, Mr. Bateman, what was that all about?
Oh, just standard damage control, man. Nothing to worry about.
He seemed to be mighty worked up.
Well, he's a investigator type, Miss Hill. I'm sure you can relate.
I can. I very much so. That's the mind that has made me the number 3 news person in this quadrant.
That's impressive.
I intend to get to number 2.
I will be rooting for you.
Well, you can help me along, actually.
Is there a Mr. Go?
Is there Mrs. Bateman?
No.
You can help me along with that endeavor. What is going on? So I heard a little bit of the conversation. I'm sorry I wasn't eavesdropping. It's just you two were speaking mighty loud, and I am curious. Were you or was Seegson involved? Now remember, she is Seegson News.
Right.
Was Seegson or you involved directly in the crash of our ship? That seems completely out of line.
Of course. Absolutely, that would be out of line. Barely dare to give a response for that question. That's so ridiculous.
And I would expect you not to. That is a horrible insinuation. Well, so then...
Obviously, I'm much too important for Seegson to shoot down a ship containing myself, Lance Bateman.
I agree, Mr. Bateman. As employee, you're noticing things she didn't say last time. As Employee of the Year, 2 years ago, I would imagine that you are very excited to bring that award home again. As such, you would have great insight. So if you're not the one that took down our ship, who do you think did?
Miss Hill, I do have my theories right now, but as a matter of tactical necessity, those will have to remain my theories.
How about if I said off the record? She puts her hand up to the little camera that she's got.
In that case.
She says, how about off the record? Go ahead and give me an observation roll.
It's not off the record.
I'm gonna remember to roll your stress dice.
And not off the record.
All right. And
Nice.
I'm gonna have you add 1.
Add 1 stress die?
No. I'm sorry. Add 1 standard die.
Okay.
Because you know the equipment she's using.
Cool. I got 3 hits and an alien.
Go ahead and give me the panic test.
5.
All right. So you're all good there.
Don't add
So,
one.
so she says, how about off the record? She puts her finger up, but you notice what she did is instead of turning it off, she turned up the record volume. You know this machine very well. And she leans in very conspiratorially, gives you the eyelashes blink.
So off the record, yes, absolutely. This could be a very useful marketing tool for us to be able to highlight the failures of our competitors. So, of course, I am sharing existence of those, of that reality.
And who are you thinking might be at fault at this point?
Look around. It's obviously Wayland Yutani.
Would you be willing? And she's taken her hand away from the camera, but she puts her hand back up. She says, "Would you be willing to go on record that is your speculation?" She's not touching the camera. Would you be willing to go on record that is your Lance Bateman's recommendation? That he believes Wayland Yutani shot our ship down? I mean, think about it. The number of Seegson employees on this ship, they're important. From what I've learned, we're replacing the field geologist. There's a new assayer coming down to do property lines and start doing sales. Why, one of the finest of the young corporate heads, you, are here as well. I mean, a takedown like this could be very destructive to a new colony.
Miss Hill, that sort of business is, beyond boring for the average consumer of your news stories, I'm sure. Like, let's focus on what your viewer wants to see. And with that, this interview is over, and I'll walk away from the corner.
Okay. All right, very good. I like it. All right, back to you guys. You two in the building.
We're now slap fighting, actually.
Okay.
All right, for you two back in the main building, you're looking to get the power back on. Did you decide you're going to try and go get somebody to help with this? Keep it strictly you?
I'm going to try and comtech it,
All right. Dr. Langtree has suggested maybe not bringing more civilians in, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. If it's not all possible.
Okay.
I'm rolling 13 dice.
Did you add the remote bonus?
I think a remote is just for like remote controlling.
Specifically
things,
remote?
yeah.
Okay, very good.
Oh,
Yeah.
are we in a safe place?
There is a.
You were in a safe place. Oh, now?
Yeah.
I would think you would feel comfortable, but remember it's 10 minutes.
Okay.
I have a success and an alien, so
Okay.
stress die. I am 8. That's an 8.
No, I'm not going to have you do it for this.
Okay, am I adding a stress?
Nope, you're not adding a... Yes, just add a stress. Not going to take any other. Just add a single stress.
Okay.
So you're realizing that the connections that you are looking at are in one of two places. They are down in the bowels, which means you would be going underwater to get into them to make the rehook. Basically, you're fairly confident now it is a replacement. You're either going down into the water, or else it's one of the connectors from the top end, which makes connections to the resident space. So you would have to basically scale. You're not free scaling. There are ladders, but you have to scale the outside of the main building, this main building, get up and do the connections there. You are, again, almost guaranteed to be replacing things, so you're going to need to get, and you know the components you should need for this facility, you're going to need to get them from the residence building. You also have a pretty good idea where they should be kept in there. If they are not in there, there must be another building or another storage facility somewhere in this rig.
And on our 6-hour countdown,
Yes.
are we...
Three-ish hours from when they said the approximate 6 hours they thought.
All right, so in that time, I could have Coombs is in med bay, so I've got Stevens and Navarro. They could go back and go to the. I'll describe to them where I think the supply should be in the living quarters
And what they should be getting?
and what they should be getting. So I'll send them to go get that.
Okay.
And one of them has comms tech too, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Stevens
One of them,
does.
Yeah. So
Which is my screw up. I told you he was a rifleman. He is a comtech.
Compton. All right.
Yeah, that was my mistake.
And so that was for the power. Yeah, I can't do much until the power. I want to see if they've got any kind of backup power anywhere, external generators on site or anything like that.
Well, there must be an
Something to
automatic.
fail over.
There must be an automatic battery system, because you wouldn't have the red lights if it didn't have that. Even though the other illuminations are gone, those red lights are coming from some battery power.
Then I'm going to see if there's a way for me to reroute power from the battery packs where it's only delivering power to the communications console.
All right. So go ahead.
Now I get my remote.
Yeah, and then additionally, now we're going to see what happens with the alien. So you do send Stevens back to go find Navarro and go find the
supplies. So 5, and then I get 2 dice. All right, here we go. I'm rolling all these dice here.
All right.
I'd like to take this time to look closer at the weird Worker Joe structures.
Okay. So go ahead and make your roll.
All right.
So again, the two that you've seen
the
are a double-bodied set, which is posed, and then the stretched one. The remainder of them are in same kind of just odd things. One where its legs are wrapped around the machine and the body is then pushed back and the head stretched over the backside. In every case, the Joe is in some odd, strained, elongated position. In each case, you start realizing that whatever did it, or whoever did it, had to have fairly extreme strength. Or a couple of people working together, or it was done by mechanical means, although you cannot see anywhere where pliers or some kind of gripping mechanism was used to pull them, which is why you're leaning towards somebody of great strength. All 7 statues or exhibits, including the 8 total worker Joes, are strewn about the area. There doesn't seem to be a specific, like there's 3 here, 2 here, 1 here. There's no pattern that you can see to it. And again, that moisture painted stuff is all over in here.
Yeah, that would be my next stop is looking into if I can figure out what that is.
Well, if you were to take a sample back to the med bay, there's a reasonable chance you could figure that out.
Yeah, then I'll take a sample of it.
Pretty easy. I'm assuming you just grab something, scoop. All right. Are you going to try and leave? Because it's important that for Sarge to know. No. All right. So you're just kind of grabbing it, putting
just
it at the door,
around.
not forget about it.
Yeah.
So Sarge, as you're starting to work through the parts, trying to figure out what you can make the connections, figure out the battery connections, Navarro hits up and says, "Hey, Sarge, we've gone through the whole residence here. The facility you're talking about, the store, there's nothing. There's an extra set of medical, and we found some MREs. We can give them to the civilians if you want. But Sarge, there's what you're looking for isn't in this building."
All right, grab the MREs and fan out and see if there are any auxiliary buildings that might have any storage of the parts that we need. We're going to need those to get the comms up.
Got it, Sarge. Grab the MREs and do what with them?
Bring them back with you.
To your...
My location.
Yeah, all right. Got it, Sarge.
So with my roll, I got 3 successes and I got an alien.
Okay, so give me the stress roll.
All right, stress roll is 10.
Has it been 10 minutes yet?
Frozen by fear, stress for 1 round, losing your next slow action. Your stress level and the stress level of all friendly PCs in short range you increase by 1.
All right, so she is not. So you're the only one where the stress goes up.
It's like an avalanche. Once it goes,
right? Oh yeah, no, it's bad.
Then
So
scream.
you at this point start realizing if you guys have to stay here for any length of time, this is really bad. You don't have power in this building. If you don't have power in this building, there's a pretty good chance you don't have power in the next building. The residence potentially is either off or is draining off this battery, which would make some sense. You'd want to keep the residence in good shape too. You got to figure a way to get the full power generation back up. However that power is being generated, you have to get it back up. Kind of stops you for a few minutes.
Well, and I also have, I have 2 successes.
Yep.
So
I'm going to ask you what you're doing with those.
So I was trying to reroute power off of the battery. So
you realize you can't, and in doing it, you realize that in trying to make the connections, the battery drains another. Go ahead and give me just a D6 roll.
Okay.
Actually, no, it's not that way. I'm sorry. It's a power 4. Give me 4 alien dice. The only thing that matters if you roll aliens. 4 stress dice. The only thing that matters if you roll an alien.
No aliens.
All right. So there's a mild drain off it, but you realize it's not going to route back in here. And if you route more, you're going to lose it from resonance.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. I was going to pull from residence and route it to the comms console. Because then I can always reroute it back to residence. Even though I might lose some in the transfer, but
Right. Okay.
hopefully we don't have to
So if
figure that
you're
long.
gonna push past that,
Yeah, I've got 2 successes.
all right. So you're gonna push past that. Go ahead. You're gonna go ahead and do that. Starting to work at it in the residence building for you two, because you're the only ones back there. The lights flick, and go off. Now it's still day, but it's getting darker. It's evening, but there's still light. But everybody in there notices it, and there's kind of a mumble that goes through. And Navarro says, "Hey, Sarge, we just lost power in here."
Yeah, I know. I'm rerouting power to the comms console to see if we got word from command.
Okay, Sarge.
I'll come over to Navarro. Navarro, what the hell's going on?
Sarge says he's got it under control. Hey, Sarge, the marshal is here asking. I told him you've got it under control. Can I give him an ETA on power coming back?
What do I think? Minutes?
If you're going to try and reroute it, you don't know.
I've been trying. That's what I've been trying to do.
You're thinking maybe 15 minutes?
All right, 15 minutes.
Okay.
15.
He says, we're thinking 20 minutes.
Work with the marshal and keep those civilians calm.
All right, folks.
Sarge is asking you to keep them calm.
That's what I'm doing, son. All right, folks. Now, you see the lights are off. Don't worry. The Marines are working on the systems. It just should be a temporary outing.
So Stevens clicks in. Boy, have I got this messed up. Yeah, you grabbed Navarro. You haven't been talking to Navarro. You've been talking to Coombs, who's the injured one.
Coombs is the injured one.
Right. He's left because you told Navarro and Stevens to go find it. Coombs is the one who was talking.
Coombs is in medical.
No, Coombs is out on the main floor because he came out with the doc. Remember, he's up and running.
No, remember we patched him as much as we could.
He's up and running, but I thought we took him to medical.
You did, but he came out with you guys back into the cantina. So again, the residence has the cantina, sleeping quarters, medical, all that. Okay. So he's the one who calls in and is talking to the marshal.
He's just come out of his room, but we could see medical from where we're at, basically.
Not you guys.
So, which was the guy that you said that was kind of nervous or that was kind of out of place? Was it the field geologist?
Yeah.
Just not nervous. He's huge.
He was just
huge.
Okay.
He stands out because he's huge.
Oh, he was standing out. He wasn't doing anything suspicious.
No.
John Coffey.
Yeah,
big, huge, hulking guy.
Oh my good God.
And,
I think in terms of like everybody's sitting down and the Undertaker comes in and sits down with him.
Right. Okay.
He just stood out as
he stands. He stands out when you guys get a chance to really look at him. You're like, how the heck did I not notice?
Nervous. Fred Jones is the land surveyor.
Oh, the land surveyor.
Oh, is that the one you're talking about? Oh, okay, yes.
He was nervous.
He was nervous, yes.
But was he just situationally nervous because it was a scary situation?
Well, you didn't hear it, but he doesn't seem to be worked up in the same way.
Okay.
So, Coombs is the one that's relaying about the marshal. Navarro, who should be the one, Navarro says, hey, Sarge, there's another outbuilding off the back end. It seems to be some kind of a boathouse, I guess you'd call it. He says it's down by the pier. We got a boathouse. We got one rig, and he says we've found the unit you're looking for. Describe to me as best you can exactly what we're looking for. And he says I'll relay it.
I'll say
Stevens comes on and says, Sarge, there's 3 things here. That's all we got. Okay. And it looks like there's a lot of open spaces in here. Looks like they took the majority of it. There's 2 launch bays that don't have vehicles in it.
Okay, well, just bring back what you've got. I don't want you getting down there playing around with the water in case there are more of the meal things in there.
All right, Roger, Sarge. So, for you guys back in the main room, were we doing anything?
I mean, at this point, I'm waiting for him to come back, and I'm just watching the civilians.
And then, Dr. Langtree, you're hanging for the moment?
Yeah, if possible. If it's been 10 minutes, then we go down a stress.
Okay, you're going to do that? Yeah, you're gonna get there.
And then you too.
Okay, so I get one less?
I think it...
Not us.
From your ability?
Yeah.
So what does your ability say? What do you do?
So I have calming presence. I can lower stress.
Oh.
But let me...
So basically you're talking, if that's right, you're going to be talking, go ahead, you can look it up, but you're going to be talking to the Sarge, kind of saying, hey, look, you're doing a great job. We haven't lost anyone yet, that kind of thing.
I'm going to take the 10 minutes to use my signature item to reduce the stress.
That takes a turn. Doesn't that take a shift?
I thought it took a turn, not a shift, for the signature item. I'm almost positive.
All right. I mean, that'd be great. Then I could use mine as well.
Well, you won't be able to because you're working, but she may be able to do calming presence, which is what we're looking at, which will reduce you 1.
Once per turn, I may reduce the stress level of another character within short range by 1, in addition to the normal stress recovery.
Oh, that's right, and you regain 1 for just being there.
Just being there.
In order to use this talent, you and any character that hopes to benefit it must be in a relatively safe place.
All right, and so you guys are. So you'll actually be able to reduce 1 for the time and 1 for the doc. Nice. And the doc can reduce 1 for the time and 1 for the doc as well. So Navarro and Stevens come in. So Navarro is carrying 2 units. Stevens has got 1.
Do they have enough stuff for me to fix it?
At this point, you got to see what they've got. They brought up the canisters, right? So as they're coming in, and Doc, you're going to hear them because they're talking, not running over the comms. Navarro says, "Hey, Sarge, it's weird down there. The 2 vehicle bays that aren't open, It looks like those vehicles have been gone for a short time, like somebody came and took them. And Steven says, look, I used to ride for a while in boats. The one that's there, it looks in good shape. Like, I don't know, maybe somebody's used the facility still. So they finished bringing the stuff. You got them in front of you. So go ahead. You're going to roll 3 6-sided dice. Don't roll a 1 on any of them.
A 1.
So on one of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
said
So
not to.
two of the units you need are there. That third unit is not there. And Stevens will say, look, there was a bunch of missing space. It says if I count right, there were at least 9 devices that weren't in there. He said, and it was locked up. We had to open it. Navarro smiles, and you'll catch that smile, Dr. Langtree.
Well, it doesn't look like we need what we're going to need to get comms up. We'll just have to hope that Command got our original transmission, and now we wait.
Have we located the landing pad?
No, that should be up top.
So Stevens and Navarro are looking at you at this
We
point.
got a boat, but I don't know where we would take the boat.
Right.
You know?
And it clicks into your mind, you still don't have power to the residence hall.
Yeah, so I got to reroute power back to the residence hall.
Go ahead and give me a roll.
All right, so 3, 4,
Remember that you've reduced 2 stress.
3, 4. Yeah, so now I just have 4.
You're a high
I was getting up there, you know, high stress managing all these yahoos. Oh, there's my friendly neighborhood alien and 1 success. All right, as a stress roll, 4 plus 4 is an 8. So
All
that's
right.
plus 1.
So that's going to bring you up
Everybody,
one.
everybody up 1.
No. 8 is tremble. No, that doesn't even bring you up 1.
Oh, doesn't?
Your skill rolls are going to suffer -2. That's it.
For how long?
So
Forever.
until the stress is relieved.
Till you die.
basically.
Till
So,
Bateman says
another-
otherwise.
Another 10 minutes. But what's happening right now is it's starting to build up on you.
Okay.
You expect these things to work right, they're not working right. There should be the pieces here, the pieces aren't here. As you're going forward, you're realizing that this is a shit assignment. You know, had you landed back at the base, you're now concerned that shit at the base wasn't going to be right. And in your position as a sergeant, you don't really have the ability to change a whole lot of this. And that's just kind of working through your head.
It's not my place to understand why. It's just my place to execute.
Exactly. But still, frustration can set in.
Sure.
So did you get a success, though?
Yes.
So you are able to reroute, and when the lights come back on in the residence, of course, there's kind of a hooray, that kind of thing. So if you have any more stress, Dr. Langtree, you can reduce 1 more. You can't because you were working through it. But Sarge, you're finished, and Navarro and Stevens have just been sitting there while you've been rerouting.
Okay.
So what's the next step?
I need to analyze what I've found in the medical lab.
Okay, so you're going to tell who?
The Marines at large.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, basically we just need to provide...
So if you tell him Stevens is going to stay, Sarge, you want me to take the doc back?
Yeah, why don't we all convene around the, in medical, and we probably need to get some rest and wait for our extraction. At least
Okay.
give it some time, you know. So we'll post up, you know, a roving on one roving and 1 stationary guard, and switch out at 2-hour intervals.
Navarro says, I'll take Rove.
All
Stevens goes, Sarge, you want me to take the doc back now?
Yeah.
All right. So while you're finishing up, Dr. Langtree and Stevens head in. You guys go to the medical bay. I'm going to need a medical aid roll from you. Navarro leaves and is now on move. Navarro's gone for about 5 minutes, and he says, hey, Sarge, landing pad's on residence. I can see it. You want me to go up and make sure it's intact?
Well, is there an aircraft up there?
There's no aircraft up there, but the LZ is up there. I can see the edges, the color edges.
We'll secure the landing pad once we've had a little bit of time to rest.
I got it. You want me on? I'm on Rove. Do you want me to run both buildings?
No, just rove the this floor. So he's basically a roving guard. He's rowing just our small perimeter here.
On the main building, not the residence.
Right. Wherever the medical lab is. So
the residence.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, okay.
It's in
All
the
right.
residence,
Yeah. So,
inside the
so
residence, on this floor only.
I'm going to give it to you again. So you got the main rig is the sphere.
Mm-hmm.
You have the rectangular residence. There is a running catwalk, gangplank,
it's
rail
not
around
outside.
the whole
Yeah,
thing.
he's indoors.
You want him inside.
Right. He's a
Okay.
roaming. Because I'm assuming this floor of the residence is fairly, there are hallways and things like that, right?
There's basically one long hallway. It's
So-
pretty controlled, and all your Marines are in there.
Okay, so it's one single hallway?
It's one single building. There's a straight shotgun hallway. Off the shotgun hallway are basically bunks, the med bay, and at the front's the cantina.
So you just post this. You would just post a stationary guard then, because he's
All
got
right.
eyes on.
But you don't want him roaming outside.
He doesn't need to be roaming outside. No.
All right, very good. So he'll set up. But it's going to be about 15 minutes later. Do you close the door or just head out?
Close the door to what?
Again, you're in the big.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna close the door just in case. Another one of those storms hits.
The three.
But although I don't know that the closed door matters, it melted a hole in the ceiling.
The 3 units that they brought up, the 3 basically mechanical units, do you leave those there as well?
Yeah, we don't need that.
Okay,
we don't have
problem.
enough parts to fix the thing.
So you're going to be back. By the time you get back, Dr. Langtree, what was your role for medical?
So I got a success.
Yep.
And I would like to send Stevens to fetch Bateman.
Okay. So Stevens, Mr. Bateman, Doc would like to see you back in medbay.
Doc? Well, okay.
And he'll walk you back. So he makes sure that you're in front of him, but he walks you back. So
Right.
I'm going to send him back out in the hall.
Stevens?
Yeah.
Okay.
Close the door.
Yeah. So, ma'am.
Close the door.
So he shuts the door.
How can I help you, Dr. Langtree?
And immediately, hey, Sarge, so Doc just sent me out of the med bay, so I'm holed up on the outside door, but I do not have eyes on.
And who's that telling me?
Stevens is telling you Doc told him.
And Doc's in with Coombs? Treating
No,
Coombs?
Doc is in the medical bay. He just tells you Doc is in medical bay. I don't have eyes on. She told me to leave. She shut the door. She's working on something, she said.
All right, I'll be right down there.
So I'm like running around testing this stuff. And I'm like, Bateman, something weird's going on here. And I know that you're a survivor. And I know that you're squirrely. There is just something wrong here. You saw the worker Joes.
I think your instincts are right about that, Dr. Langtree.
That's not an animal. That's a man. And I just found out that there's things missing. There's boats that have been recently used. The pile of meat. Did you see that?
So I kind of drop my friendly, charming facade for a moment and get kind of serious.
Okay.
And I will say I didn't see it exactly.
It was 18 feet tall of just meat. And I can't find a rhyme or reason for any of it. And I don't care for the Marines, Bateman.
I'm with you on that one for sure. It seems like we're starting to see eye to eye on several things, Dr. Langtree.
I cannot fault you for being as suspicious or as crafty as you are, but I have a feeling that things are going to just get worse from here. I don't like that whatever made the worker Joe whatever is just kicking around somewhere. Do you know anything about this place?
Well, you didn't see the one outside yet, did you?
The worker Joe?
The creature.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So there were some things out there right before the storm, or shortly before the storm, right before the pumps were turned back on. Something that seemed to have almost a human face.
Barry, did the eels have human faces at all?
So you really didn't get to see it as good as he did with solid light, but there were eyes, nose, and some kind of a mouth. So yes, on a fast move, sure, yeah, humanoid, but not human. You would not think it's human, but then you would be so much more critical.
The thing that I saw, it wouldn't have any way of maneuvering the worker Joes like that, like they were. It had these little mandible things.
Well, from your medical experience, would you consider it to be something natural or possibly man-made?
I'm going to let you go with that. Run with it, Sequoia.
Between us, Bateman, we know that human experiments are outside their own possibility.
Of course.
I think that an isolated lake on a barely civilized planet would be a great place to run an experiment like that.
They're abandoning it for a reason, it seems.
Right. I mean, the plasma storms, sure, that's part of it, but why would they leave the equipment? Why would they leave any kind of boats? They would strip it all and move it to another location.
This installation definitely has a higher dollar value associated with it than I would believe for one to just abandon it.
This oil rig and the grass and this whole thing getting shot down, none of it's made sense. And I think it's very interesting that we landed where we did.
Well, I'm with you on that, so let's keep an eye on each other's back. We probably don't have much more time, but if I find out anything else, I'll let you know.
I'll share that respect.
Sarge, you come into the residence hall.
All right.
Do I see him?
Yep, Sarge just walked in.
I'll start walking over to Sarge.
How'd the interview go?
Well, Sarge, you know them corporate types. Yeah, they're worse than the shit on your boot. So I did my investigation. I talked to them. And yeah, he just threw back corporate threats at me. So I tried to really just impress on him that, well, he's doing something mighty suspicious, and you Marines might well be suspicious that he has a part in what's going on here. And that didn't seem to faze him none. He didn't want to tell me nothing, just made some threats. And, well, I figured that if I can't do it, with my ways, then you boys might have to do it with your ways. You got a little bit more authority in that than I.
Well, we might want to stay close. Maybe learn a few things about extracting information out of an unwilling participant.
I might learn a few things.
Right now, I gotta go see the doctor. Apparently, she's holed up with Bateman in medical bay with the door closed.
You
want to come along, see what these two yahoos are up to?
Well, I think your boys here have this room under control, and folks seem to be as okay as they are for now. So let's head on over.
All right.
Did my success garner any results? What is this material?
So, you did that before he came in, but you were finishing while he was
Yeah.
there? So what you're able to come up with is the mix starts with petroleum base, and it's absolutely a petroleum base. This is not, as far as you can tell, it's not organic. It is intermixed with what you think is probably paint. That's what's giving it the reddish tone to the brick color to it. You're not sure what the little pieces are in it, but they could easily be any kind of a simple mineral.
Like mica or something?
Right, that was mixed in. As to what it is, you have no idea. It's absolutely not, as you had originally suspected, it's absolutely not some kind of a synthetic, it could be a synthetic lubricant, that's not the word I was thinking. A synthetic, synth's blood.
Yeah.
This is something external that was sprayed in here or
Okay.
painted in here. And actually, now that you think about it, sprayed is probably better than painted or applied. To get the kind of spread that they had, you're thinking maybe it was shot out of some kind of a power sprayer or, something for insecticides or gardening. I mean, something where it was ejected. And now that you're thinking about it, you can kind of even see the pattern that they could have done it so that they could have gotten in and out without leaving real footprints in it.
When they brought all the stuff up from the boat house,
Yep.
were there any kind of like paint cans or anything? No.
They didn't bring it through.
Okay.
So if you look at the map over there real quick again, it's that smallest building
Has the
that
pier.
has the pier sticking off of it. That's the boathouse where they went. It is not directly connected to the residence, and it's actually about 30 feet lower
Right.
as far as elevation than the residence.
I'll share the makeup with you, Lance. I have no idea why this would be on the walls.
Sarge, what do you guys do?
So as we're walking up, do we see the doors closed?
Doors closed. Stevens is out there.
Okay.
As he says, Sarge, they
Okay.
haven't come out. No one's come out.
Go through the door.
All right. So, have you locked the door?
No.
Okay. The door opens. Stevens steps in. He looks bewildered to both of you because he steps in and then kind of steps aside, expecting Sarge to follow him in. Does Sarge follow him in?
Yeah, I go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be behind him.
All right. So, Stevens steps in, steps to the side. Sergeant steps in. Cole steps in. The medical room is fairly packed at this point. 5 people in here is
I'll
pretty
finish
tight.
washing my hands and drying them. What can I do for you?
Meeting of the minds that we weren't invited to.
Well, the title dictates who attends.
All right. Well, I'll have you know, under official business, this is now a military operation, and yourself, Doctor, and you, Mr. Bateman, fortunate circumstance it may be, are now under military jurisdiction and under our protection. I have orders to ensure your safety and security, so everything you know just became something that I need to know.
Well, we were talking about the newest line of pantyhose. Do you want to know what I'm going to be purchasing?
Not really, but what I do want to know is I want to know what was in the message that you sent on the the communications console.
Can I roll? Is it observation to see if she's bullshitting?
Yeah, you guys, both of you guys.
Okay. What is that? It's observation.
It's going to be, you're going to roll observation. She is going to roll manipulation.
Okay.
Because it rolled off that well, Sequoia, I'm going to have you add 2 to your roll.
Bitchin'.
Remember, if you have stress, to add stress.
Yep. fucking aliens.
Eat shit, Pedro. Fuck.
Well, oh, and you know what? Since I'm the instigator, tie goes to
tie,
me,
yep,
right? Because I got one.
All right, so I don't know where numbers are.
Oh,
One.
one.
I got a stress die and a success.
All right, so everybody knows the doc is not telling the truth. Give me a panic roll.
Okay.
Oh,
That's a 10.
That's a 10?
God.
We're getting put under court martial. It's martial law in here.
It's court. Bateman gets a kneecap.
So you and everyone there, the stress goes up, and I can see it. You guys, there's kind of this. Everybody's waiting for the next person to move. However, the result is freeze. You are frozen by fear or stress, which is stress for a round.
And so
at
I
this
basically
point,
look there and like
You're like, I'm
I
gonna
stand there
squeeze
in
off
like frustration right before like I'm really trying to collect the next words that come out of my mouth very carefully.
perfect.
And it's since a beat goes by and I'm like, well, I'm thinking in my head, well, she's clearly bullshitting. Now, he's gonna obviously know. He doesn't say anything.
He doesn't say anything.
So then I'm like, Doc, I respect you and I want to have a good working relationship. As we're probably gonna see each other quite a lot, but I'm sorry. That's, with all due respect, that's a load of bull. You're lying. And right now, as Marshall, I believe that if you know something about what's going on, or if you're trying to hide something, well, that goes against the greater good of these people. And there's one thing I know about you, is that you want to keep these folks safe, and if you think that I want anything less than that, well, then you don't know me very well, ma'am.
Gentlemen. Don't you think it's even the slightest bit possible that you're letting the stress get to your heads and becoming paranoid and maybe looking inward for threats that don't exist when we have a lot greater, more serious concerns here?
As you said, Marshall, we will be working together, and it's been 4 hours, and you're already coming apart at the edges.
At which point, just going to let you know, Sarge, you and Stevens are going to get from Navarro, hey, Sarge, just want to let you know, winds picked up again. Not like before. Winds picked up again. We got rain outside. I mean, what I would call normal, but it's got everyone else out here spooked. You guys can still go because that was in his earpiece. I don't know if you're going to say anything, but
Not gonna say anything back at the moment. I don't care if the civilians get wet.
I'm just gonna kind of rub on my beard for a second. I'm gonna say, now, Miss Langtree, I feel that I have kept a cool in line with the events that have been happening. If you don't want to tell us, I just feel that's wrong. But you know what?
What exactly are you asking? I don't know anything about any communications that were sent.
Okay, did anybody mention that?
somebody mentioned the
Yeah.
communications.
Oh, you actually did. Okay,
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah, I called Bateman on it right there in front of everybody.
If there was a communication that was sent before the comm panel was disabled, presumably by the plasma storm, that we still haven't quite corrected yet, right? Or have we?
No.
Okay.
It had a plasma
still
hole
out.
burn through it.
Right. So at this point,
Immediately.
it's merely hearsay of what Sergeant Rictor saw before the plasma storm hit. And if you could take a look at Sergeant Rictor right now, you could say that he may not be the most reliable source of exactly what happened.
All right. So I look at the Mars and say, you might not have a private word with the court man.
You know what, Sergeant? I think that's just fine.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I have a pleading look in my eyes, like you guys you're not leaving me with this guy right now, are you?
No.
Miss Langtree, sorry, Dr. Langtree, I was not saying before that you knew anything about that message. I'm just saying you really should have come up with a better excuse than talking about the newest pantyhose. You was lying about something. What that is, I don't know. But what I do know is the sergeant here is technically the highest ranking officer in this room, and, well, this is his jurisdiction. So we do have to follow that, and I do need you to leave this room.
Or what?
Stevens and Navarro, secure the professor. And by I mean secure, I mean
I'll say,
detain him, grab
I'll
him.
step in front of him.
Stevens understood, and the doc steps in front. Stevens is... He's stopped. He doesn't know what to do.
Secure the professor, Stevens.
Do not touch him.
That's it, Miss.
That's an order.
Dr. Langtree, I'm gonna have to intervene. You are upholding a military
interfering in the military. Yeah.
And Stevens, you can see it on Stevens' face. He's crying. He says, "Doc, I'm sorry," and he steps around you.
I'm gonna keep moving.
You're gonna keep blocking
I'll
him.
plaster myself.
Navarro comes in. You guys can see Navarro in the door,
And I'm gonna
he
say-
looks in. He's like, "Sarge,
What
he just-
exactly are you accusing Bateman of?
So is Bateman secure?
No, Stevens is. See, Navarro comes to the door, and again the med bay is packed, and he's like, "Sarge."
Marines move to Bateman and secure his person.
So Navarro now steps in.
I'm secure. I'm secure.
I mean, they're going to grab hold of you.
holding my
They're going to
arms up
grab
in the
hold of
air.
you.
I'm holding my arms up.
Both Navarro and Stevens will endeavor to get past you.
I'm going to ignore the doc for now, right? I'll talk her down later.
They're gonna have to grab me.
I'm
Right,
gonna shout out in a second unless anyone.
All right. So at this point, what I need from you is a mobility roll. What you're using with mobility is put yourself in place. Each of them is going to try and do the same thing. Stevens.
Do we have bigger problems?
Killing Bateman is the number one.
So Bateman's my rival, right? You know, so now
He's mine too.
And I know. Funny, why are you protecting him, right?
Also, Rictor is my buddy. So.
Love it. Oh my god.
My buddy was my gold-plated pen, but now it's
Right.
Dr. Langtree.
All right. So, what do we have for successes? You have one success. So she continues to put herself in interjecting in place. Stevens gets super freaked out and just kind of backs away. He's like, "Sarge, she's POI. We're not a hair is what you said."
This is wholly
and he's like
inappropriate.
half. He's
Doesn't
half
mean
going.
right. It doesn't mean
But you
be
can
able to
see-
use his own judgment to get her
But
out
that's
of the
what
way.
he's having.
Yeah.
You can see that he's having troubles with that. He doesn't know what to do. Navarro's continuing to move around, and he finally he backs up. Navarro backs up, steps out of the room, and into his mic says, "Do you want us to knock out the doc?" And it's quiet. It's not loud enough for anyone to hear.
I'm gonna shout. If they can't get through her, I'm
Navarro
gonna
just
shout.
backed. Navarro
So-
literally left the room, and Stevens
Yeah.
is backing up, just looking.
The minute they can't handle it, that's when I'm gonna shout. So man,
I'm going to look at the marshal and say, "Marshal, can you talk down the doctor?"
So you
Stevens, Navarro, detain the professor.
So you start talking to me, and I don't even listen. I'm getting red in the face.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, "God damn it, Doctor! You are acting like a little spoiled child, and I'm tired of it. So this is your last warning. You will stand down, and you will get out of this goddamn room like I am telling you right now, or so help me God, I will arrest you here and now. Do you want to go into this town arrested first day? Because that's where you're heading, little miss."
Manipulation rolls.
Put her in cuffs.
Also,
Put her in cuffs.
you get the feeling like I'm not yelling at you.
Where is Miss Hill when you need her?
I know.
She's peeking is where she's at. She's got like the camera on a
Like, we
stick.
just want to get Miss Hill in this room.
Do we both roll manipulation?
Yes, because
I think I can manipulate Bateman into coughing up the
supposed to
truth.
be out manipulating. So
I don't know.
With the point,
I
with
got
the,
9 dice.
with the hollow end of my
push it.
with
You gotta
my
push it.
M418 pulse rifle.
Calculation.
Yeah.
Are we about to drive home and have an argument for real? Okay, no, that's good actually.
Oh, yes.
Okay, let me see. So I got a 1 on my stress
invincible
die.
Langtree.
You're all worked up, right? Panic test.
She's like attack. Well, she's
I'm
So-
like a little attack
so,
carrier vessel.
if you roll the 1, you cannot just to make sure you know you cannot push the roll.
Yeah, no, I know what I'm
All right.
rolling is my test thing. My stress. No, nothing's raised it anymore, right? Okay.
Nothing should have raised it yet.
So I got a 6. I need over a 6, right?
Over 6 is bad. You
I
don't
got-
want over 6.
So
I got 2 successes.
and I got no successes, so I'm just flustered. And so
Yep.
what I'll
Yes, you
shout is, I need to look it up real quick.
you're just proving this right.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, God, I'm totally out of it. I'm like, God damn it, Belle, this is the last fucking time I'm telling you, you're getting out of this fucking room.
And I'm gonna.
But that doesn't
No,
happen.
I know. That's so I'm huffing and
if
puffing.
Did she win?
I
She
won.
won.
Okay,
So,
so
I'm standing-
If she wins, she either needs to.
No.
Oh, it's the other way.
He
If you
has
failed,
no
right?
successes.
Okay,
Yeah.
And she did not fail.
Gotcha. So you're good. Yeah, you
She
can
is
just,
standing
you can ignore
her ground
it.
against
Yeah.
the marshal, the
she does
sergeant.
this
So
counter
is she
manipulating?
in our way? Is she between
Yeah,
Bateman and us?
I've got
Yes,
Bateman
I'm
in
in
a
the
corner.
corner.
She basically has Bateman trapped in the corner, and you haven't moved on her.
Right.
But Navarro and Stevens tried to move on her, and they got so flustered. That's why Navarro stepped out and said, do you want us? He didn't say take her out. He said knock her out.
I say escort the doctor out of here.
I'm gonna say
Right, that's to Navarro. Escort the doctor out.
you can ask him any questions you want with me in the room right here.
And
I'm not moving.
That's the order I give. Escort the doctor out.
So Navarro comes in. Now this is what you're going to see at this point, Marshall. Navarro's going to come up, and he does not look good at all. And he says, "Doc, I'm sorry about this. Orders is orders." And he grabs you. Give me a mobility roll.
Oh my god.
Because you beat him before already. She's beat both of them before.
Yeah.
God damn it!
Do they get any bonus for their training?
Oh, 2 successes, Barry.
Put a stunt into your mobility. So you save for the next time they grab you.
Navarro is just, he is beyond himself.
Right.
She's moving around, she grabs back. It looks to you guys like she's had training.
Right.
Like serious training.
Well, I tried to save you from this, but I guess you're just gonna get a front row seat. So I bring my M41A pulse rifle to bear on Bateman, and I say, Bateman, this is all your fault. You better start spitting truth bullets, or the next one's gonna be
You haven't asked him a question yet.
Tell me about the message you sent. And
There
who
was
did you
no
send
message.
it to? That
Stevens
is a lie.
gets out of the line of fire,
Alright.
and Navarro stands back. He's not trying to grab you. They're both out of the line of fire. At this point, you can tell everyone's worked up, and stress level for both you and Bateman goes up 1.
All right, I'm gonna try and manipulate Bateman into
Gotcha.
telling me.
And Cole?
I have a question. So he's leveling his gun at him.
Yes.
He is technically a citizen here.
Correct.
He does have jurisdiction. I would not legally have to stop him from, like, if he has reason to gun him down, he's above me, right?
Well, technically, on your planet, not in a military situation.
Okay.
I have so many stress dice. We can get this going.
He is not. He does
I'm
not
stressed
out
right now.
command you.
I can
Okay.
feel my
All right.
heart.
It's working. But for safety, you can step back because he has said this is a military. You don't know what's being told to him, so you have an out. You don't believe he has control of the situation. That's not the right words. He definitely does not have control of the situation. You do not believe he has jurisdiction over you, but you can hide behind the fact that he told you he did. So it's your choice how you want to react.
Like a coward.
Or someone just wants to see Bateman dead. He threatened
Do I get
me.
any bonuses for using my pulse rifle
No.
as leverage?
No.
The gun pointed at you.
How about some
Bateman?
napper leave, Sergeant? That would really help
All right.
take the edge off.
All right,
Do
so
I get
let's do a roll
bonus
here.
for my drugs?
Well, I get okay.
So hold on one second.
Bateman's my rival
Make
now.
your roll. Make
Yeah,
your rolls,
what-
but
does
so
rifle
Cole,
have
are
a
you doing
mechanical
anything?
impact?
I think there's something with XP.
XP. So Cole, are you doing anything to intercede? He has not shot him. He's made an open threat and said respond, and Bateman's initial response was
That there was no message. That there
okay.
was never
So
a
that's where we're sitting at. So he's demanding. So we'll go ahead and make rolls. If you two aren't interceding, I want to see where the rolls.
So I'm looking. So holy shit! So right now I'm just looking at her because I'm completely dissociated at this point. So
Right.
if
just
Langtree
making sure
moves,
there was
no
no,
message,
if
Sergeant.
Langtree moves,
Yeah.
I'm arresting her.
Got
Because
you.
I don't want her dead. But
Right.
if I have to
Have some
arrest
guns.
her,
You've got 5 successes of all the dice.
Oh my God! And how
I've
many do
got
you
2 and a stress die. So I have to make a panic test.
have? Go ahead, and give us a
All right,
roll.
a 4 plus 6, that's a 10.
Oh my God! So-
Everybody's stressed.
So everybody's and the stress
I
of
mean,
all
he's
friendlies
holding the
goes
gun
up.
right at my
Yeah.
face. I mean,
Okay.
there was no message. God damn
I've
it!
got 7 stress.
So here's
Wait.
where we are at.
and does he say there was no message?
Yes. Yeah.
I want to see if he's bullshitting when I
Go
can't.
ahere and make a roll
Okay.
against his 5.
It was very
If it's his
convincing.
5,
Yeah.
I know he's lying.
It was 6 die convincing.
Right. So anybody that's not the sergeant believes him. You can fight it, but believes him. There's a reason the sergeant doesn't believe him. Because he knows for a fact that he sent a message because he found the message.
Yeah, I found it in the system, yeah.
He just doesn't know what it
He's
said.
gaslighting.
You know
I
what?
don't know what it said.
Roll
I'm
gaslight.
I only got 3, but I'm gonna push it because this is a strenuous situation.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
The rain picks up.
Yeah,
the
it's
wind
bad.
is whirling around outside.
Yeah.
Oh, and I got a panic die.
Oh god!
I'm gonna start blasting.
It's a chain reaction. I can't.
And a 5. Oh well, it's got an 8.
Oh no, that's what everyone's goes up.
No, not everyone's up. The
Is that
8
freeze?
is just -2
Oh,
for him.
okay.
Oh, you still have the -2 from
But
the 8.
well, how long's it been? You
It's
said
not
until
time.
that stress goes away.
Right. Was that before you left the main building?
It was over in the other
All right,
building.
forget what I said. All right. So here is where we're at. Stress level for Cole.
So I don't gain a stress from that.
You do not
Okay,
add
so
a
that's
stress.
3.
You're just
stress level
-2 for until the
For Dr. Langtree is 2. For Sargent.
Yeah, I've got. Yeah, nothing happened to me.
No, what's your stress level?
Oh, my stress level right now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7.
7. And for Lance Bateman is 3. So very tense situation. Assume the Marines are somewhere in the range where you guys are, 2s and 3s. Where we're at in the room, Navarro has tried to touch the dock, is in distance to the dock, but is not grabbing the dock. And Stevens is just about catatonic at this point. All he did was move away from Bateman to get out of the line of fire. So, you rolled a 10, which puts you again into freeze.
Okay.
So it puts you again at that stress level. You don't know what to do. You shoot him, you
Right.
know you're going to get in trouble for
Right,
that.
right. Yeah.
So,
I don't want to blow his head off, but
Right.
yeah.
so what do we want to do? The two of you, how do you guys react? The two of you absolutely believe him. Not questionable. You absolutely believe him. Sergeant, absolutely, he can do what he wants, but he absolutely knows he's lying because he has found it. The 2 Marines are not doing anything that are in there. They are completely uncomfortable. And as you guys are kind of looking, Miss Hill is right there in the doorway, filming the whole thing.
Oh, God damn it.
So
I'll
I,
stop right there.
Yeah.
Everybody refocus.
Get the reporter.
Get the report.
Thank you for listening to another NCRP Productions podcast. To stay on top of everything we're doing, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and like us on Facebook, all at NCRP Productions. You can show your support and help us continue to produce content by joining our Patreon. We offer additional podcasts like our B-Sides and have GM materials, maps, and other fun things you can discover over time. You can find our podcasts on YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google, and many other fine podcast sites. Just look for us at NCRP Productions. We value your thoughts, so please don't hesitate to leave us feedback or comments. And if you would like to contact us directly, you can email us at ncrpproductions@gmail.com.